Mykelti Brown draws a line with Father Kody. Why reconciliation won't happen until he repairs his bonds with all his kids. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Wives Union. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. The complex fractures of the Brown family, once portrayed as a sprawling, united, plural household built on harmony and shared faith, have become one of Sister Wives' most compelling ongoing storylines. Over the past several years, nearly every major Brown relationship has splintered in some way, but perhaps the most devastating divide has been between Kody Brown and his older children. What was once framed as a father overseeing a large, loving network of nearly 24 kids has gradually revealed a far more painful truth. Kody is deeply estranged from most of his adult children and even some of his still minor kids. Among those now stepping forward to explain the damage, Mykelti Brown, daughter of Christine Brown and middle child of the sprawling Brown brood, has become one of the most direct and candid voices. Her latest interview on the Pop Psych YouTube channel delves deeper, providing one of the most lucid explanations to date about her refusal to reconcile with her father until he confronts the wider harm he's inflicted on her siblings. This isn't just a story about one celebrity parent and one estranged child. It's a story of shifting loyalties, generational trauma, parental responsibility, emotional accountability, and the fallout of a once idealized plural family structure that has repeatedly cracked under pressure. The weight of Mykelti's comments reverberates far beyond her personal experience, touching on Christine's long-standing grievances, Meri's heartbreak over Kody's changed parenting style, ongoing tension with Janelle's children, and the near-total collapse of trust between Kody and many of the kids he helped raise. This article will break down the situation from top to bottom, exploring the history, the emotional stakes, the patterns behind Kody's actions, the ripple effect of his relationship with Robyn, and why Mykelti's refusal to reconnect on an individual basis is far more than a simple boundary. It's a gauntlet thrown down publicly, a demand for accountability, and a generational pivot point for the entire Brown family. 1. The background: how Mykelti became one of the last kids still close to Kody. For most of Sister Wives' run, Mykelti was considered one of the children who maintained a relatively steady, positive relationship with both Kody and Robyn. Even during the show's increasingly tense later years, when many of Christine and Janelle's kids felt alienated, brushed aside, or outright abandoned, Mykelti and her husband, Tony, seemed to remain squarely in Kody and Robyn's corner. Their loyalty was no small thing. As the children matured, especially during their teenage and young adult years, the imperfections in Kody's parenting and partiality became increasingly apparent. Many of the older children felt neglected and became vocal about it, especially around the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, when Kody enforced rules that kept him largely with Robyn and her children. It was around this same time that relationships with adult kids like Gabriel, Garrison, and Isabel deteriorated sharply. Meanwhile, Mykelti played peacemaker. She publicly defended Kody and Robyn on numerous occasions and regularly appeared at family events with them. The relationship appeared solid. And then, all at once, it wasn't. By late 2023 into 2024, Mykelti finally admitted she had become estranged from Kody and Robyn as well. Something had shifted. Something had broken. And now, in her words, she reveals that Kody has been trying to inch his way back into her life, attempting to revive their once cozy connection. But she's not letting him back in so easily. 2. I'm a package deal: why Mykelti refuses to restore the relationship alone. Mykelti's recent interview revolved around her refusal to allow her father to arbitrarily choose which relationships to mend. She won't allow him to reconnect with her while continuing to ignore or emotionally abandon her siblings. Her words are strikingly firm. With me, I'm a package deal. You can't just have me. You have to have all of us. I want him to be kind to Isabel. I want him to be kind to Savannah. I want him to talk to Truly and hang out with her. Each of these statements underscores a deeper emotional truth. Mykelti no longer sees her relationship with her father as something that exists in a vacuum. If her siblings are hurting, if they are being dismissed, ignored, or pushed away, then she acknowledges that it matters. In many ways, this is a remarkable evolution for her. Earlier seasons of Sister Wives often framed the older kids individually, with varying degrees of closeness to Kody. But Mykelti's stance shows a shift toward collective responsibility within the sibling group. She is refusing to allow favoritism, selective affection, or one-on-one reconciliation to be used as a proxy for true accountability. Her insistence stands in stark contrast to Kody's perspective. As she put it, he wants to figure out each relationship individually as they go. This is typical for Kody, who often compartmentalizes his relationships, whether between wives, households, or children. But for Mykelti, that approach is no longer acceptable. She sees the wounds across the entire family, and she refuses to ignore the bigger picture. 3. A closer look at the named siblings, why these relationships matter. Isabel Brown. Isabel, Christine's daughter who suffered through one of the most painful storylines in the series, has one of the most visibly strained relationships with Kody. The public low point was his refusal to accompany her for major spinal surgery, a decision that still haunts fans and the Brown family alike. Mykelti's insistence that Kody treat Isabel kindly shows not only her loyalty but also her recognition that Isabel endured some of Kody's most glaring neglect. Savannah Brown. Janelle's daughter Savannah has quietly become one of the children with the deepest emotional fallout from Kody's absence. Viewers watched Savannah break down on screen when she revealed her father hadn't called her for Thanksgiving or Christmas. That moment became symbolic of the larger abandonment felt by Janelle's children. Mykelti's concern for Savannah indicates she is deeply protective of the younger generation who experienced the brunt of Kody's pandemic-related distancing. Truly Brown. Truly is the only minor child left from Christine and Kody's union, living in Utah with Christine. Although a custody agreement exists, Kody's actual involvement appears inconsistent. Mykelti's insistence that he visit Truly reveals a fundamental expectation: being a father requires presence and effort. For Mykelti, reconnecting with her without reconnecting with Truly would feel like a betrayal of the younger sister who still needs a parent. 4. Why Kody's individual relationship approach is a larger problem. Kody's perspective, that each relationship should be worked on separately, is not surprising, given his long-established pattern. Throughout Sister Wives, Kody has often compartmentalized wives, houses, and, later, children. His parenting has frequently relied on prioritizing him based on proximity, loyalty, agreement with his views, and willingness to follow his rules. But from an emotional standpoint, this approach fails to account for a fundamental reality: the children see themselves as part of a collective unit. Their identities were shaped in a plural family system. They grew up as siblings in a shared environment, with shared experiences, shared trauma, and shared history. Trying to reconcile selectively reopens the very wounds the kids are trying to heal. To reconnect with Mykelti while ignoring Isabel, Savannah, or Truly would reinforce the same favoritism and emotional inconsistency that caused the fractures in the first place. This is why Mykelti calls it out. Her stance is not rooted in punishment. It's rooted in integrity. 5. Christine and Meri's voices echo the same demand. One of the most intriguing aspects of Mykelti's statements is how closely they align with what Christine and Meri, Kody's ex-wives, have already said publicly. Christine, fix your relationships with your kids first. Christine has been clear and unwavering: she will not accept an apology from Kody until he puts in the time, energy, and emotional work to reconnect with his kids. She has emphasized that an apology without action holds no value. Her position is nearly identical to Mykelti's, which reinforces the idea that Mykelti's stance is not impulsive, it is grounded in a shared understanding of long-term patterns. Meri expressed, "The way he parents hurts my heart." Meri has also spoken out, stating that Kody parents differently than he once did and that he puts little effort toward the children who still want a relationship with him. Meri, who endured years of emotional neglect in her marriage, is now vocalizing her concerns about Kody's treatment of the children. Her words demonstrate that this is not a narrative pushed by one ex-wife alone. It's a multi-generational concern. Mykelti's stance gains power because it aligns with what multiple family members have publicly described: a father who has retreated into a selective, narrowed version of parenthood. 6. The Robyn factor, the silent weight behind the estrangements. Any conversation about the Brown family fractures inevitably leads to one central figure: Robyn Brown. For years, tensions escalated, as many of the older children felt Kody favored Robyn's household emotionally, financially, and physically. The pandemic only worsened those perceptions, as Kody spent nearly all his time with Robyn and their children. Although Mykelti does not name Robyn directly in her newest interview, the context is impossible to ignore. The estrangement between Mykelti and Robyn is a dramatic reversal. Mykelti was one of the children closest to Robyn, even choosing her wedding dress from Robyn's boutique and often visiting her household. The eventual souring of that relationship signals a significant break in trust. When Mykelti says the relationship eventually soured, it suggests she witnessed something in the family dynamic, something long-term, something foundational, that fundamentally altered her perception of her father and of Robyn. Her silence about the details is loud. 7. Why this moment matters, a turning point for the next generation. Adult children, who have formed their own identities, marriages, and parenting philosophies, now largely comprise the Brown family. The fractures Kody created no longer exist in a theoretical space, They have consequences for grandchildren, in-laws, and the broader extended family. Mykelti says Kody must treat her kids well too. She is signaling a shift in generational power. Kody is no longer the patriarch. The adult children are. And they're setting the terms now. Their demands are clear. Show up. Put in effort. Repair the harm. Rebuild trust. It's crucial to demonstrate action rather than just words. Mykelti's refusal to reconcile individually is part of a larger self-protective movement within the Brown family. The adult kids refuse to allow Kody to divide, isolate, or selectively reconnect in ways that perpetuate old patterns. 8. What reconciliation would actually require from Kody? Based on statements from Mykelti, Christine, and Meri, a real reconciliation would require Kody to 1. Consistently reach out to the estranged children. Not sporadic texts. Not selective invitations. But sustained, ongoing communication. 2. Repair bonds with the kids he actively neglected. Particularly those who were hurt during the pandemic years. 3. Show up physically. Visits with Truly. Time spent with Isabel and Savannah. Effort observed, not merely claimed. 4. Demonstrate genuine accountability. It's important to refrain from placing blame on ex-wives. It's important to maintain the integrity of the narrative. It is important to avoid rewriting history. 5. Rebuild trust. Rebuilding trust cannot be achieved in isolated silos. It must be done across the family. Kody's insistence on individual relationships is fundamentally incompatible with these requirements. And unless he changes that mindset, none of the adult children's conditions will be met. 9. Why Mykelti's words hit harder than you might expect. Mykelti has historically been one of the kids most understanding of her father. She defended him publicly when others wouldn't. She stayed close when many drifted away. She maintained connections with Robyn longer than almost anyone from Christine's household. So when she finally says, "I won't reconcile until you fix things with my siblings," it sends a strong message. Even the most loyal child has reached her limit. Her rejection of a private reconciliation reflects something deeper. She sees the pattern. She recognizes the damage. And she refuses to be complicit. 10. The broader impact on the Brown family legacy. The fallout from this moment will reverberate through future seasons of Sister Wives. Public perception of Kody. The dynamics between the adult siblings. The grandchildren's relationships. The narrative of the family's history. For years, the show revolved around Kody's desire to create a plural family built on unity and shared love. Now, that idealized vision has dissolved into fractured homes, estranged children, and a patriarch who has lost nearly all the relational capital he once carried. Mykelti's interview marks another step in the family reclaiming their narrative. The adult children are no longer acting as supporting characters. They are telling their own stories now, directly, truthfully, and without the filter of plural marriage ideals. And their stories are not flattering to Kody. Conclusion: Mykelti's boundary is a defining moment for the Browns. What Mykelti said is not simply a daughter refusing to speak to her father. It's a decisive stance that places the emotional well-being of the entire sibling group above a single restored relationship. Her refusal signals a demand for accountability, a rejection of selective reconciliation, a priority for collective healing, a boundary drawn from strength, not anger. And, perhaps most importantly, it signals a major shift in the power dynamics of the Brown family. The adult children, once shaped by the plural family system, are now shaping the family's future. Kody can reach out. He can call. He can attempt to reconnect. But until he shows up equally for all his kids, he will remain estranged not only from Mykelti but also from nearly the entire generation of children he raised on reality TV. The ball is in his court. But for the first time, the children are the ones setting the rules. If you'd like, I can also write a follow-up deep dive about how this affects future Sister Wives seasons. A psychological analysis of Kody's parenting patterns. A character-driven narrative retelling. A comparison of each child's relationship timeline with Kody. You are welcome to share any video requests in the comments. I will make a video about it. Stay connected with the Wives Union for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.